Hi everyone, it's Chef Yetti from Yetti's Kitchen, and I'm here again with another, a Q&A session. So in this session today, I'm going to be answering a question that somebody asked me about time and stock management. And if you're new to this channel, I don't know what you're doing, but you definitely I'm laughing because I hear people say that on YouTube and I'm like, nope, I'm not going to subscribe. But anyways, if you're new here, get acquainted with the subscribe button and the like button. And at the end of the day, I'm giving out this information for free, so the least you could do is just as a thank you. I'm not asking for money. As a thank you, just hit the like button, and if you didn't like it, just hit it anyways, just because you're a kind human being. But yeah, hope you've been having a good time. Happy New Year. Depends on what time of the year you celebrate your New Year. But here in the UK, we had our New Year on the 1st of January. And yeah, so this question I'm going to be answering today comes from somebody who asked me a question on Udemy. If you don't know, and if you're new to this channel, I have my course, How to Start a Restaurant Business UK, on Udemy. And so usually what happens is people who have bought the course, pretty cheap I must say, people who have bought the course get to ask me questions that are particular to what they need to know, rather than many options where you just buy information and you have no access to the person who gave you that information. You know, it's like getting access to Mark Zuckerberg's course, but you never really get to ask him the pertinent questions that really strike your mind. But yeah, so the beauty about the course on Udemy is students get to ask me questions. As you can see, this is a screen grab. It's an actual video recording, or what I say, screen recording of the question. It's pretty lengthy, and I thought it would be better if I did a screen recording of myself going through each line of the questions rather than just doing a screenshot. I think it's a bit more interactive. But yeah, let's go for it. Okay, so it says on here, thank you so much for your course. It's been good. It's given me more insight and confidence in starting my own food business. I love to get feedback. Thank you very much, Laura. I have a few questions. They're all about the management and stock management. I am really bad at it. Okay. We all struggle with a bit of confidence, and that is really what gets me stuck at the moment. Okay. Can I just mention, when you say you're really bad at time management and stock management, I think those are two different things. Time management is a habit that you need to cultivate, and that has nothing to do with stock management. Well, it has a bit to do with stock management, but really and truly, time management is more of a personality thing, and stock management is more of a systems thing. Do you see what I mean? I normally say to my son, I've got a 12-year-old, as well as other children as well, but I normally say to him, the early bird catches the worm. Not those who wake up late, but the early bird catches the worm. And I say that because it totally depends on what's more important to you. And I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, what on earth, Chef Yetti, come on now, what does this have to do with the question she's asking? But it has everything to do with it. People actually value sleep more than their goals. You know, there's many times that people ask me, oh yeah, Chef Yetti, I want you to be my mentor, I need some help. And by the time I actually tell them what needs doing to fix the problem that they apparently have, you know, there's many times people tell you they have a problem, but they actually don't want a solution to their problem. They just want a listening ear, you know. So if you very well want to pay me for listening, by all means do that. But don't ask me for a solution if you're actually not ready to apply the solution. So here, time management is a habit. I believe it's a habit that you need to cultivate. And of course, old habits die hard. So time management is something you need to teach yourself. And it's not something, you can obviously learn it, because obviously there's many videos that I've seen of top wealthy people of our time, the likes of the Bill Gates and whatever else, are top earners. And they normally say they wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning. And you're just like, why? sleep is important. And you get all those people who come up with the scientific reasons why sleep is important and stuff. But no, well, anyway, I'm not going to say what I was about to say. So I think you've got a goal. Set your goal, and you normally need to form a habit. And apparently, according to science, it takes about 2 weeks for you to form a habit. So I don't think 2 weeks is that bad. Teach yourself time management for 2 weeks and see what your body does with it. Push yourself to breaking point for 2 weeks and see what your body does with it. The funny thing is, the human body acclimatizes. You'd be surprised. The human body acclimatizes so good that you normally think, oh no, I'll die if I try that. That's ridiculous. But literally, I'm not actually joking. You'd be surprised what your body can go through and still survive. So time management, stock management, I can teach you. Time management, literally whatever you're struggling with time management wise, do it for 2 weeks and somehow your body would make do, I believe. So I know it's a lot, but if you don't mind answering these, how many meals did you sell per day when you were just starting your business from your own home and you were not on delivery platforms? I don't think I ever started my business without being on a delivery platform. It's, for me, I don't know, this is just my personal belief. I almost believe it's a suicide mission. I think it's a suicide mission. Because if you think about it, if you don't process any orders using the delivery platforms, you don't get charged by the delivery platforms, meaning you can always sign up and choose to say, I'm only going to fulfill 10 deliveries on the delivery platforms and I would rather do 20 direct orders. In terms of, you give your customers incentives to say, okay, if you order by the delivery platforms, the prices are static, they don't move. But direct orders, 20% off direct orders. That's what you normally see people. In terms of, I normally see a lot of Chinese shops. If you order from a delivery platform with them, they actually put their leaflet in the bag that then says direct orders 20% off, or direct orders gets a free bottle of Coke. So literally there's many ways you could push up your direct orders. So yes, you're getting orders from your delivery platforms, but there are little notes you can leave in there to encourage your customers come in direct, and that increases your direct orders, and then you can slowly move and transition away from the delivery platforms. So to answer your question, how many meals did you sell per day? I would say, if I compare my direct orders versus my delivery platform orders when I started from home, I'll probably say my direct orders were probably 6, but that's me looking at the first day. But as you can imagine, no business, I don't know, depends on how much money you have for marketing, but I was probably, because like I said, I was doing it from 6 till 10 p.m. at night. So, yeah, I was selling like 6 meals per day, but I can't really call it a day, per night really. Versus when I look at the orders I had on the delivery platforms, I was getting like 20 a day. So there you go. So I really couldn't be in a place. So like I said, marketing, if I'd done like 3 months of marketing, it's typically the minimum timeline for any bit of marketing. Anything you want to launch, a book, a restaurant, any kind of business, the minimum you should be looking at if you really want to be intentional about your success is 3 months before anything launches. If it's a book, it doesn't matter. So what I'm trying to say here is, if you spend enough money in terms of online ads, Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, LinkedIn ads, YouTube ads, there's so many places, blog articles, newspaper articles, leaflets being handed out, mascots outside, distributing and talking about your business. You've got brand ambassadors who are actually representing your business and talking about your business on socials. There's so many things you can spend money on to help create a buzz about your brand before you launch. If you had all those things in place, then by all means, you could probably be doing 50 orders per day versus the online platforms. And let's remember, I think it's a bit unfair to say I had 20 orders from the delivery platforms and I only had 6 direct orders in the beginning, because what happens is, well, on this delivery platform that I joined, they boost your restaurant for the first 2 weeks for free. So literally they put you at the top, so anybody searching in your area in your postcode area would get to see your restaurant. It would in the search results, your restaurant will be suggested first versus those who've been on the platform forever, right? So they do that for free. And I think that's a major thing, because it then means that you get it right for those 2 weeks and you've got repeat customers for free, versus you don't get it right in those first 2 weeks. And imagine you had 100 or 200 orders in those 2 weeks. Those are 200 people who would tell another 200 people never order from that restaurant, that was rubbish. That's not the great one. That's not a great way to start your business, because that's a very costly thing, because then how much are you going to spend to change the minds of 400 people or more? It might be more than 400 that got to know that your restaurant was rubbish. So it might mean you need to hire extra staff in the beginning of those 2 weeks, because you're going to be getting a lot of hits in terms of people calling in to order food, versus you just hire one staff and you're planning to take it easy. By all means as well, there's also the option on the delivery platform, which is if you get 5 orders and you think that's right about enough, in terms of you can only handle 5 orders per day, and once you've sent those orders out and they've been delivered on time, you then switch on the machine again. There's an option to pause for an hour or pause for 2 hours. They have that option on the machines that they send you to take your orders. So it's not a do or die affair where you're going to get 20 orders immediately and you don't have the capacity and you have to still deliver. There's an option to say, okay, I got 3 orders now and I think that's just about enough for the amount of staff that I have, so let's call it a day for now, for the next 1 hour. So how many meals did you sell per day when you were just starting out your business from home? Like I said, direct orders were low, and that's because I didn't spend a lot of money on direct orders. And how many meals did I sell from delivery platforms? It was a lot. And you need to remember that these delivery platforms have existed before your business joined, right? So the reason this is my 3rd year in business in terms of the high street. Of course, I've been in the restaurant business before I joined the high street. So of owning a restaurant on the high street, I started from home, like I mentioned earlier. So what I'm trying to say, I can't even remember what I'm trying to say now. So you need to remember that these delivery platforms have always had customers from a long time. Obviously, if you're joining a new delivery platform, you have to be cautious. I will do a different video for that purpose. But for now, I'm going to just focus on why you should join them rather than why you shouldn't. There's some delivery platforms that I joined and I got very bad service. So I'm not an advocate of jumping on every delivery platform. Especially if they're new. Okay, so you need to remember that most delivery platforms have been around for a while, so they would have loyal customers who constantly go on there to look for deals. It's just like Groupon. The loyal customers who literally would not buy anything without checking out if there's a voucher for it on Groupon. So you need to be in a place where how much money can you ideally spend marketing your restaurant or your food business from home versus years and years of free marketing where they've got enough loyal customers. So let's remember these, depending on the kind of platform, there's obviously, but going back to the bad delivery platforms that I joined, there was this platform that I joined, and after joining them, I'm like, I'm not really getting any sales. Like, are you actually doing any marketing on your side? And they said they don't, based on data protection, they can't really do any marketing on their side on behalf of the restaurant. I'm like, I just joined you guys. So how are your customers meant to know that I'm new on your platform if you don't at least a bit of promotion would be good? But they said, because of data protection, they can't really market restaurants. That all they can do is do the generic advertising on TV or do the generic advertising on social media, which says, lots of restaurants are available on blah. I'm not going to give the name of the delivery platform. And then when people go there, if you're within the catchment area, your restaurant pops up, and if you're not in the catchment area, your restaurant doesn't pop up. I'm like, so you've got people who have been there for the last 3 years, and of course they're going to keep popping up, and I'm just new in the last 2 weeks, so are you telling me it's just like being on page 3 of Google? I'm never going to stand a chance with those people because they've been here and they've got over 500,000 reviews. So I'm new to your restaurant, I'm new to your platform, and it's quite obvious that it's a lonely journey because you're not going to promote me. And then they suggested to me, okay, don't worry about it. We'll send you leaflets. And with the leaflets, what happens is when customers come into your restaurant, you can give them the leaflet to tell them that you are now on our platform. And that way they get to order food from our platform. And that encourages them to order food from their platform. I'm looking at them like, I don't think you understand. If any customer comes into my restaurant, be rest assured I'll be encouraging them to place a direct order, because that way I don't have to pay commission to anybody. The last thing I'm going to be doing is promoting your business for you. You're sending me flyers to tell my customers to order from your platform. Are you actually joking? They go, no, the flyers are going to be personalized. I said, no, the flyers are going to be personalized to say Yettis Kitchen on it. I'm like, well, what difference does that make? It still says fulfill the order on your platform. It doesn't say fulfill the order on Yettis Kitchen and help Yettis Kitchen avoid commission. But anyway, like I said, that's a conversation for a different day. So I would suggest that you definitely join delivery platforms because they have loyal customers. Obviously, in this instance, I think I might have to mention the one Just Eat. They are the ones that I joined initially. I don't know if they still offer the option to promote you for 2 weeks for free. But they promoted me for free for 2 weeks on their platform, meaning that the minute I joined, they have a lot of customers who signed up for offers. As you normally sign up for offers and latest promotions, a lot of customers have done that. So by default, the minute I joined, they'd send out a blast email to say, oh, there's a new restaurant in your location that's offering 20% off within the next 2 weeks. Use this code and get some money off. Obviously, every customer is like, oh my God, there's a new restaurant. No. Okay, I want to use the code before it expires. This is like Domino's. Domino's constantly have codes that they send out. So everyone's excited, and that constantly happened every day where I was literally getting so many orders. I couldn't believe my eyes. And obviously after the 2 weeks, the order numbers just dipped like from 20, they just dipped to like 5. Not because the food wasn't good, but because obviously, and then I totally didn't realize that they promoted me for 2 weeks. So yeah, I was like, okay, what's happening? Why am I not getting many orders? And then obviously I paid to be put back up at the top of the delivery platform. But then I still didn't get a lot of orders, and that just meant people are interested in offers, and when there's no offer on, they're not interested in buying a meal at the full price. Yeah, and it also means location as well. The location I'm in terms of Yettis Kitchen, a lot of them are on benefits, and as you can imagine, if you're on benefits, you only have a certain amount that you want to spend on takeaway. And if you're going to spend probably a £5 or £7 on takeaway, you want to be in a place where it's something you're aware of, rather than you want to spend £7 on buying pounded yam that you've never eaten before, and then it's not nice, and there goes your budget for the day. Versus if you're in an area where people are working class and they have jobs, they could spare £7, and if the food's not nice, just fine, they'll just grab something else. So yeah, where you're located makes a difference on how customers react to new meals or new restaurants popping up. So yeah, so hopefully that answers your first question. And this is why I said to you on Udemy, I said, yes, you've asked very important questions, but responding on Udemy wouldn't do it a lot of justice. So I'm hoping you prefer this one-on-one time with me. But yeah, okay. So how many meals did you sell per day when you got on the delivery platform? I believe I've answered that. When you were just starting, how many times a week would you buy fresh veg? This is a good question. When I just started, I got all happy, go lucky. I'll order my veg and in 10 kg boxes, like you mentioned. I just literally ordered tomatoes, lettuce, all those kind of things. And like, as you know, you can't freeze veg. I'm sure somebody's come up with a recipe on how to freeze veg and it still comes out fresh, but I haven't got the time. I'm trying to make money here in the restaurant, so of course I did it like I did at home, which is just keep it fresh rather than putting it in the fridge or putting it in the freezer, which obviously to the best of my understanding you can't at this point. Okay, so how many times a week did you buy fresh? I bought it like once. Obviously, if I'm only doing 10, if I'm buying it for 10 at 10 kg, I wouldn't run out so quickly. Depends on how much veg you're serving. If your main staple meal on your restaurant menu is salads, of course, you probably run through 10 kg in 2 days. I don't know. Depends on how many orders you have. So I'm not sure if that question is really depends on what business model. When you asked how many times a week did you buy fresh veg, I bought it like once a week, and depending on what all customers are ordering, junk food is such a major part of the staple meals that people eat, and that has totally affected what I sell versus what I think I should sell. I initially started off as, I want to make sure the foods are healthy. I don't want to feed the nation with bad food. I don't want to feed the nation with junk food. But my brother, if you don't want to go back to, where you're coming from, I know where you're coming from. The meat you want to start a business. But if you know what's good for you, you'd be practical versus ideological. And of course, if you got the money to back you up, meaning that whilst you're making losses, you got something else to keep you paying your bills, then of course go on the journey of trying to change the world by serving healthy and fresh veg and all that stuff. But yeah, I bought it approximately once a week, and of course the food got bad. The veg got bad very quickly. Number 4, where did you buy fresh veg from? I bought it from wholesalers. Your typical Costco, I think I can mention their names. Your normal Costco, or just literally type in wholesalers for whatever you need. If it's chicken you need, type wholesalers, wholesale chicken Manchester, and Google would literally tell you how to get it ordered. It's literally that simple. Where I bought it from, typical places like Costco, which obviously you would need to register to have a business account with them. It's not really expensive. It's about £28 as I speak at the time of this recording. It's about £28 a year, which I don't think is expensive if you think about how much money you're going to be making. I think that's pretty cheap. And there's many other wholesalers that don't actually charge you for membership, where you could just register and you just need to provide them your company number, or you need to provide them, some of them don't require a company number. Many of them just require you to give them your business name and business address and the proof of business, which is your ID or whatever, or bank statement. So so it's pretty easy to join wholesalers. Many people don't think about it, but personally, I've always said this, that once I got into the world of wholesaling, I was like, I personally would actually register a business so that I can get my food wholesalers. Even though I'm not a business, I'm just an individual who's an employee, I would gladly register as a business so that the amount of discounts you get as a wholesaler is mad. So if I was just somebody who's an employee somewhere, I would actually register a business because it's free. It's about £14 to get your business registered online on Google. I actually am somebody who just register a business for £14, and I know that would allow me to buy food wholesale, and literally the savings I'd have throughout the year will probably come to about 5-6 grand. Because if you think about how much food you buy from retailers like Tesco, Aldi, all those people, if you think about how much food you buy from them at retail price versus if you're buying from the wholesalers. But I guess it's also a hard one, because there's no point in registering for a business. You're buying food from the wholesalers, but you don't consume that much. There's no point in buying 10 kg of veg and it's just a family of 2. You're not going to get through the 10 kg worth of veg. So I don't want to keep on rambling. Let me go back to your question. So where did you buy it from? I've answered that question. If you didn't need big quantities, I love to sell by. Where did I buy it? Fresh veg. If I didn't need big quantities, I bought it from the retailers. So right now at Yettis Kitchen, we offer coleslaw as a side in our jumbo in our combo boxes, and I found that there's usually a 3 kg 4 kg tub of coleslaw. I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, you could just make coleslaw yourself, Yetti. It's not that deep. But if you know how many things I make in the restaurant, believe me, if I have one thing I could buy that I don't have to chop, I don't have to mix, it literally means 5 minutes of rest as a chef. So it might not mean a lot to you to just chop up some lettuce and chop up some cabbage and chop up some carrot and put some mayonnaise on it and just put it in the fridge waiting for your next order. But no, I would rather rest. There's times that I'm in the kitchen 8 hours constantly cooking and serving customers. Yeah, so just no. I'll rather buy my coleslaw ready made. So yeah, obviously if it's a wedding and stuff, then of course there's always the option, because there's this Nigerian salad they call it, and that definitely has to be made. You can't buy that ready made. But if I can subcontract it to another chef, by all means I do that as well to save myself time. So where do you buy your fresh veg from if you don't need big quantities? Yep, I buy it from your typical retailers, which is I buy it at a higher price. Obviously a little tub will be £3, £4 from Tesco, Morrison's, whoever you normally buy your fresh veg from. But the difference is I think the veg stays fresher because you're buying it in smaller quantities, versus when you have such big quantity, it then becomes a problem in terms of storage. So that's number 4 answered. How many times do you recommend? Okay, so I think there was something I wanted to say about buying fresh veg. So yeah, I found out that my coleslaw, when I bought it in 3-4 kg tubs, literally started getting sour very quickly, because I think the maximum you can put it in the fridge for is 2 days. So because I wasn't using the whole tub, I don't know how much coleslaw you're serving a customer, for heaven's sakes. And let's remember, coleslaw is the icky thing for most people. Some people like it, some don't like it. It's like Marmite, right? So I was not getting through the whole 4 kg tub, 3 kg tub in 2 days. So it meant I had a lot of food wastage, and definitely that's not good for profits. So I found it was easier to just buy from retailers. So it's not everything you need to buy from wholesalers, because you need to amend your stock based on demand. And I must put this out there, you wouldn't know until you start. If you start on the first day and you realize that oh, there's a lot of demand for lettuce, that's fine. Increase your quantity the next day. That's kind of like what I have right now. Initially, when I started at Yettis Kitchen, there's something in Nigeria we cook called eforiro and egusi. Those 2 meals I did make about 4 portions per day, and now I'm in a place where I'm having to make 15-20 per day, because I used to have a lot more as a spread in terms of a restaurant. I used to sell okra, I used to sell oha, I used to sell all the different things that they sell in Nigeria in terms of menu items, and I just realized that there were 2 items that always sold out, and the rest were a bit of a hard push. I had to push them a bit harder. They had to stay in the fridge. They didn't sell out as much, and I just came to a point where I just decided, you know what, take it off the menu. Literally, there's one thing to come into the business to say, oh, this is what I want to keep selling, this is what I want to, but like I said, it's not that deep. The customer will tell you what they like and what they don't like. So look at your sales. If you sell out your jerk chicken all the time, it will be crazy to keep trying to push your curries. Yes, you think you're the best curry maker, but the customer the palate of the customers in the location that you're in probably don't want that. It's a thing of make your life easy. So I used to sell a lot of items, a lot of Nigerian soups. I don't know if soup should have an S at the end. Okay, Nigerian soup. And the demand revealed to me what the customers wanted, and it was perfectly fine. There's no point in cooking food you're not going to sell. So so in terms of buying fresh veg, I got to slowly realize that I needed to amend my menus to my menu items to items that weren't that would take well to be stored in the fridge. So initially, my burgers, I think that's a good one actually. My burgers included fresh lettuce, obviously, like most burgers do. My burgers included fresh lettuce, but I was in a place where I was probably selling 3-4 burgers a day. If I bought a whole bowl of lettuce from my retailers or my wholesalers, obviously wholesalers wouldn't sell you just one bowl of lettuce. I couldn't finish the whole bowl in just 4 burger orders. You understand what I mean? And by the next day, the lettuce is not fresh. It's beginning to have the browning on the outside. And the customer can tell that it's not fresh, and you just don't want the reviews. So I just got to a point where I then swapped my fresh lettuce to coleslaw in my burgers, meaning that at least I had a chance of spending at least 2 days with the veg in it. So obviously some customers complain that, oh, your burger should have fresh veg, we don't like the coleslaw in it. But I had to think of my cost, literally. It's just some things that just don't make sense. Literally, I had a customer who was very well meaning, and he told me why it should be fresh veg and should be coleslaw, and I was just looking at him because it's literally a totally different world when you're a customer, and a totally different world when you're a business, but you can't blame him. So obviously when you look at the likes of the big chain restaurants who offer fresh veg, they're processing like 1,000 burgers a day, so of course they can afford to use fresh veg. So you might have to think about your business in terms of what are you trying to achieve and what can you use to achieve it. Does it have to be fresh veg? Are there other things you can use to achieve the same thing without using fresh veg? And of course, I totally understand. When we scroll down a bit, you'd see why she's asking the questions in terms of fresh veg. But I think it's a very pertinent question that you should ask yourself. Is it required, or are there other substitutes to get the same thing? Like pickled. Is it just pickles? Yeah, pickles. Do you do pickles fresh, or do you do them, the preserved ones, in wine vinegar? So yeah. So when I didn't need big quantities, I swapped over to coleslaw, and now it's working out better in terms of buying my coleslaw from the retailers rather than wholesale value. And then I'm getting to a place where I'm finishing the tub in about 2 days versus when I bought 4 kg ones and I couldn't finish it in 2 days. So sometimes you don't have to go to the wholesalers to buy all your items. How many items do you recommend to have on a menu? How many items are manageable when you're just starting a food business from home? How many items do you recommend to have on a menu? Depends on how much stuff you're going to have. So of course, if you're having a food business from home, that doesn't mean you're going to be the only one serving the food, cooking the food, doing the delivery yourself. There are many variations to how you want to set up your food business. You might decide to have staff, you might decide to have it done yourself. And when I say done it yourself, till now, 3 years into business as a restaurant, I still do deliveries myself. So and when I was a food business from home, I did deliveries myself. So I'm not saying I'm the only one that does it, so don't take it the wrong way. 3 years into business as a restaurant, I still do deliveries myself. I didn't say I'm the only one that does deliveries. No, I have a delivery driver. I probably say I have 2 delivery drivers as well as myself. So it depends on how busy we are on a night or during the day. I might decide to hop in the car and do my delivery whilst my other drivers are doing deliveries as well, because depends on how the orders come. I've noticed it's very annoying as well. There are times where you're totally quiet all day, and then between the hour of 5 and 6 o'clock you have like 6 orders at the same time, and all of them must be delivered at the same time. It can be a bit tedious in the kitchen at that point. But it's funny how everybody wants to eat at the same time. I don't know how that works out, and all 4 or all 5, 6 orders are not related to each other. They're all in different postcodes. So I almost feel like sometimes people are just on the phone and they tell each other, let's order takeaway, because I still can't hack it. But yeah, so how many items would you recommend to have on your menu? Depends. A lot of my menu items, and I think I might need to do a video on menu design and how it matches your stock management. A lot of the items on my menu are broths that I can reuse in 4 menu items. I'll give you an example. So I sell curry goat, I sell curry chicken, I used to sell fish curry, right? And then I still sell boneless curry, right? Let's focus on, so those are 4 variations of curry. But if you really know what you're doing, all you need to do is make the broth of the curry, and then depending on the order, you've got your fish ready on the side separate. It's not in the broth. You make your broth separate, and then you have your fish prepared already, maybe grilled in the oven and preserved in whatever way you want to preserve it. You've got your boneless chicken, which is just a boneless chicken breast, prepared and waiting to be served. You've got your goat meat, prepared, waiting to be served. And then you go, I don't know, whatever I mentioned last, but you've got all your variations of toppings or meat or whatever it is, fish or veg curry. Actually, that's also something else that most restaurants offer. So all those 5 things are waiting and ready. So depending on the order that comes, if a customer asks for veg, I put my veg in and then I put the broth. There you go, veg curry is ready. If the customer asks for boneless curry, I put my I heat up my chicken breasts. I put the curry broth. There you go, chicken curry is ready. So versus if you make goat curry and you got your goat meat mixed inside already, and then somebody's asking for a boneless chicken, you're now in a place where you have to start taking out the meat to put in the boneless curry, boneless chicken curry. Or if somebody's asking for a veggie one, you have to take out the chicken from the broth and then you make a fresh one from scratch. Bruh, you gonna give yourself a huge headache. And I'm laughing because that's what I used to do in terms of I never made curries or anything in advance. A lot of my broth that I sold in terms of jerk chicken, if somebody ordered jerk chicken, I would literally make the jerk gravy from scratch. If somebody ordered a curry, regardless of what curry it was, I would make the curry from scratch. And it was until I had a customer who literally complained. She came into the restaurant, which I thought was ridiculous, but hear the story. She came into the restaurant and then she said, oh, she wanted curry goat. And I said, yeah, that'll be about 10 minutes. She now said, what, 10 minutes? No, man, I can't wait for 10 minutes. And I'm looking at her like, what do you mean you can't wait for 10 minutes? She goes, no, that's the 10 minutes is too long. It's too long. Give me my money back. I want a refund. That she wanted to go away. And I had to say to her, I said, it's funny because just next door to us, we have Domino's. On average, minimum wait time for a pizza is 10 minutes, and everyone is fine with it. You normally order your pizza and you go for a walk, go buy some sweets, go buy chicken, go buy ice cream, and then by the time you come back, you're happy your pizza's ready. So you don't give all this big chains grief when they tell you that you go to McDonald's and you want to order your apple pie and ice cream, and they tell you, oh, ice cream is ready, but apple pie is going to be about 7 minutes. I know it's 7 minutes because I worked at McDonald's before. It's going to take about 7 minutes to be ready. Hope you're okay to go to the waiting bay to wait for your apple pie. Bruh, you say it's fine. I had customers, probably 2% of customers will say, no, I don't want to wait that long, give me my refund. But seriously. So it was until I had that encounter with that customer who said 10 minutes is too long to wait for a curry. And I said to her, we make our food fresh. We are not a fast food restaurant, which might be a good thing and a bad thing. Even though you're not a fast food restaurant, you should aim to be a fast food restaurant in the sense of your food's always quick. And that's something Yettis Kitchen has gotten better with doing in terms of we're not a fast food restaurant, we're a proper restaurant in terms of we're not selling junk food, because obviously junk food is a lot easier to process in a quicker time. We're making pounded yams, we're making pepper soup, we're making all that. All of that typically in a restaurant cannot be ready in 10 minutes. But we've perfected the art of getting Nigerian food ready in phenomenal time. So now if you order pepper soup from Yettis Kitchen, max 5 minutes, your pepper soup is ready. And it's made fresh. It's not stored in the fridge and just reheated in the microwave. If you order pounded yam with efforiro, max 6 minutes. And the reason I say 6 minutes is 3 minutes in the microwave for the broth, the soup, and then another 3 minutes to stir the pounded yam. So, believe me, and the reason why I say phenomenal time is because in most Nigerian restaurants, bro, you be waiting for 1 hour, 45 minutes minimum just to get one plate of pounded yam and soup. So what I'm alluding to is how many items do you recommend to have in your menu? I think you can have as many items of varieties you can possibly have, but menu engineering is what allows you to do that very well or do that very poorly, because you don't want to have too many items. You're going from grilled fish to fried to I don't know fillet fish. You don't go for very similar items, but one is spicy, one is not spicy, one is barbecued, one is not so like chicken wings, I can serve chicken wings in 6 varieties, but it's still the same chicken wings. So when you say how many items would you recommend I have on the menu, if I have 6 chicken wing options, you probably look like, oof, that's a lot. You got jerk chicken wings, you've got spicy chicken wings, you've got lemon and herb chicken wings, you've got suya chicken wings. Those that I've already mentioned before. You've got, I don't know, sweet and sour chicken wings. Point is, it's still the same chicken wings, ready to be served, and then depending on what the customer's choice is, I just put a paste, I just put a topping, I just put a glaze on the chicken wings. Are you seeing where I'm coming from? So you can have as many items on your menu as you wish, as long as you've thought about menu engineering in terms of how you can deliver the same thing in different varieties, which makes it look like a lot, but really and truly it's the same thing. I'm trying to think of any other examples. I think it's the same thing as a hamburger and a cheeseburger. So to the customer, they offer a hamburger, cheeseburger, a double cheeseburger, or a triple cheeseburger. Guess what? It's still a cheeseburger. So I've mentioned 4 different burger types, but it's still the same burger to you as a restaurant owner, because it's just the amount of beef that you have to cook that makes a difference. It's still the same bun, it's still the same cheese. And now cheese is obviously ready made, the bun is ready made. So stuff like that. So you can have as many items as you want. It's just, how do you get it done in the quickest possible time that you have to worry about? So how many items would I recommend? I think you should, when you start, you would know, what, these are my popular items, and this one is, I'm taking quite a long time to sell this, so I might have to cut my losses and take it away from the menu so that I have less. But ideally, less is more. In terms of, initially when I started out restauranting, I wanted to have everything on my menu so that I cater to everybody. But then that can become a problem in terms of jack of all trades and master of none. Customer would typically look at it and say, wow, so many things, I'm not sure what to go for. Versus when you go to a restaurant and they only serve 4 items. I've been in so many Chinese restaurants where they only serve 4 items. You can either go for fish and chips, you can either go for sweet and sour chicken, you can go for spicy chicken, or you can go for curry chicken. The end. Rice that they serve you is the same. You can either go for egg fried rice or you can go for plain rice. Whatever you put on top of your rice is your business. They've only got 5 options. And believe me, you see people standing outside waiting for just 5 options. Versus when they look at you, when another customer looks at your menu and you got 20 items. And you see, and that's when you now begin to hear the customer say, okay, have you got a menu I could take away? Because there's so many things on there. And then even when they go away and they take it away, they're sat there at home and they're thinking, I don't know what to order. You know what? I'm getting so claustrophobic. They get so teary-eyed and they're like, what do I order? There's so many options. And then they end up going to McDonald's or go somewhere else, going to your competitors, because the menu is being the same. If you notice with McDonald's, the staple items have always been the staple items. Every now and then they bring the seasonal burger, but one thing they don't do is have too many items. It's just breakfast menu is the same. They might change the bun, but it's still the same, So yeah, engineer your menu so you can use the same ingredients over and over again. Even though it's 6 items, it's still the same prep time and prep way of prepping it. And or you just stick to very little, very strict menu options, and that way it forces your customers to choose. And I think the more you understand what your target audience is, it makes it easier to have a very thin menu option, because you know what sells now. After maybe after a year, you now have a better understanding of what sells. So now you can be in a place where, from offering a lot, you now reduce your menu items to what sells the most, right? So there's many times I've had a customer come back to say, oh, please, I like my favorite burger, can I have it? I'm like, yeah, I don't sell it anymore. Oh, they're like, oh no, that was my favorite burger. I'm like, yeah, but how often do you come to the restaurant? So you have those customers who are die hard and they love what you do, but they only eat out once every 6 months. That's not, I'm not waiting for you. That's bad business. Those ones that only come once every 6 months are the ones that'll be giving you so much grief. They'll be giving you so much grief. Oh, there's another one that came around the other day, and she knocked on the door. Every time I come, you're never available. Your doors are always shut. I laughed. I said, what time do you normally come? She goes, oh, I come around about 11, 12, like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, yeah, we close at 9. So it's amazing and literally that could have been a review. She could have easily gone on Google to say, oh, quite a useless restaurant. Every time I come, they're always shut. They need to get their act together. But bruh, what time are you coming? Are you coming when you want to come? Versus actually, what are their opening hours so I can actually come during those times? So yeah, those that don't order the most are the ones that give you the most grief. And in the end, at the end of the whole conversation of, oh wow, finally you're open today. Every time I come, blah, blah, blah. She didn't order anything in the end. She left. She just said, oh, I was just coming to say hello anyway. Thank you. Take care. Bye. I'll take the menu and order some other time. I can tell you 1 year later, I've not seen her. She's not ordered and she's more bothered about what time we open. But yeah, you have those ones. So how many items do I recommend you have in the menu? I hope I've answered that. How many items are manageable when you're just starting a food business? Start small and scale up. That's the best answer I can give you. Start small, scale up. And I think it's also a good thing. It's a good marketing strategy. I know of a Chinese restaurant who literally put it out there. They say 30 lobster portions available. Buy them before they run out. Book a slot before it runs out. And they only do the lobsters on Sundays. So you might want to consider that, okay, those items that have a high spoilage rate, you only offer them on a certain day. There's quite a few. My favorite food on the Caribbean menu is oxtails. Ooh, I love them, man. Slow cooked, juicy, off the bones, a bit of spice. I love it. But what I've noticed is most Jamaican Caribbean restaurants only offer them once a week. And the ones that offer it every day, they don't do it well. Okay, so so what I've noticed is some people do it once a week. The reason why they do it once a week is because it takes about 4 or 5 hours for the oxtail to come off the bone, and it just takes a lot of TLC to cook an oxtail meal. So what they do is to reduce a lot of prep time. There's no point in waking up at 5 a.m. to cook something that takes 5 hours because you want to care, and then you do that every single day, and then in the end you sell enough, but is it really worth your 5 hours prep time versus the other meals that take 10 minutes to prepare and you sell out? I think it's a no-brainer. When you can either outsource that one that takes 5 hours, or you can always select a day when you're bothered for the stress. So a lot of them, for fish, they only offer fish once a week. In terms of fresh grilled fish, they'd only offer it once a week. So you might want to be in a place where the items that have a high spoilage, you only offer that delicacy or whatever menu item once a week, and that way it also creates a buzz with the customers because they know, like, oh my god, I'm gagging for this meal that this restaurant does, but they only do it once a week. And literally customers set their timers. It's mad. Customers will set their timers to say, oh yeah, every Friday I want to make sure I get this and I don't want to miss out on it, so I'm going to set a timer to remind myself to call in and order it in advance. I was that person. When I was pregnant, I loved this restaurant that offered oxtail. I literally would be in the middle of the night at 12 midnight, and I would literally be waiting for it in the morning so I could literally drive. And it used to take me like 30-45 minutes to drive down there just for oxtail. It was mad. And then, funny enough, they stopped selling it after like 3 months of me having the best time of my life. I went there one day early in the morning, excited that I'm going to have my fill of oxtail, and got there and the man is like, oh no, you should have called, we don't do it anymore. I'm like, what do you mean you don't do it anymore? He goes, yeah, it's off the menu now. He didn't tell me any reason, but obviously as a business owner I could kind of gather that he probably wasn't getting enough sales from it, or it was just too much effort for the number of sales. He probably cooked all that oxtail for over 5 hours and probably only got 5 orders of it. And let's remember, oxtail has a lot of bone, so a lot of the English population don't like to eat things with bone in it, so a lot of people frown at eating bone. So he obviously had his reasons, and I could only respect that. So so how many items do you recommend? So literally, if you're in a place where you're only having one menu item per if you have only one menu item and you're only reducing it to be available once a week, it creates a buzz and puts you in a place where customers begin to think of it as a specialty item. And what you'd find out is, because the less you make it available, they then order it out. Like literally, it becomes a buzz, and it's what I say, reverse marketing strategy, where it makes customers want it more because it's not available all the time. Versus if you have it available all the time, then it puts them in a place where, oh, I could always get it tomorrow, I don't need to buy it today, and then your sales fluctuate. So that's a bit of restaurant psychology for you. Okay, I listened to your podcast and you said that you were running your own food business from home. You were running it from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. and working another job from 9 to 5. How did you get all your food ready by 6 p.m.? A lot of it was food prep before I went to work. I prepared the food. Like I said, a lot of it was broth. A lot of it was the broth from that I made in, obviously, if I'm starting work at 9, I normally wake up around about 7, but that's a lie because it means that I'm getting ready for work from 7. But I know I'm somebody who wakes up around about 4 or 5 o'clock. And as I speak to you at the moment, it's 5:32 a.m. that I'm currently doing this recording. So nothing's changed, even though I'm no longer working my 9 to 5. So that's what I meant by habits. You need to form a habit of waking up early if that's what works for you. Yeah. I'm more of a night person than a morning person, but that doesn't mean during the mornings I'm walking around sleepy. I wake up early because I want time to myself before my day starts with interacting with other people. How did I get the food ready? It meant that within 5-6, I wake up, do some food prep. In terms of pounded, I'll do the efforiro, I'll do the egusi. I would get my rice ready for the day, and obviously by 5 p.m. I'll get home around about 5:20 and just get things ready, heat things up, so that when by 6 o'clock when customers just placing an order, it's just heating this up, heating chicken up, heating the broth up, heating the soup up because the soup was prepared early in the morning. And I made enough, and if I did run out, tough, I'll just mark the item offline on the machine or the iPad I was given by whatever delivery platform I was using. Just mark the item as offline because I only know I've got 4 items of my egusi or whatever it is on my menu. I know I've got 4 items of that, maybe 4 burgers. I've got availability for 4 burgers, and after that I just mark the item offline. And if I notice that more customers are calling to say, I wanted to order this but it wasn't available, that gives me an indication of what customers want, and then I'll make 6 the next day because I know that a lot of people are asking for it. And secondly, if you minimize the number of things you're offering, it puts customers in a place where I've had a lot of requests for ackee and saltfish in Yetti's kitchen. And unfortunately, I know I'm gonna get kicked for this. God, please, guys, don't come for me in the comment section. But I genuinely don't see the point of that food. It's either I've had very bad ackee and saltfish, that's why I don't see the point. But I'm somebody who likes a lot of my soup on my food. So if you're serving me oxtail, that gravy must be like a river. If it's not like a river, I will be very cross. So ackee and saltfish, all I see is everything else but fish. I don't see enough fish in it. So it really gets me angry because I actually want fish. I don't want just yeah, if you know what I mean. So a lot of requests have come from customers saying they want ackee and saltfish, and I've just not gotten around to it because I've not had a great experience of it so far from all the other places I've eaten it. I had a lot of requests for dumplings, even though it was never on my menu. So I had a lot of requests for dumplings, and now I do dumplings in Yetti's kitchen, not because I'm a fan of it, but people wanted to eat proper jerk chicken and rice and peas and then have dumplings as well. I'm like, yeah, how do you all eat? Like, if I ate jerk chicken and rice and peas, I'll be full. How can you put dumplings on top of that? And they're like, no, they want to mop up their gravy with the dumplings. I'm like, what? But hey, to each their own. I can see why you'd want to do that, and now I eat my dumplings as well as whatever rice I'm eating. But yeah, that's why I started doing dumplings. So sometimes in the name of not having too many items on your menu, you might want to offer a very restrictive number of items on your menu, and you just trust the fact that if customers like what you serve so far, they would literally call directly and tell you what they prefer because they want to keep ordering from you. So you get the hint and you do it. Yeah. So how do I get the food ready by 6 p.m? I told you that. Did you prep it the day before? Depends on what you're cooking. If it's chicken wings, I definitely prep my chicken wings and freeze them. In terms of my chicken wings, I add my garlic and ginger, I add my stock cube seasoning, and then I put it in a freezer bag and I freeze it. So when the customer places an order, I just put it in the microwave to defrost it, and then I fry it, and then there's fried chicken wings for you. So it depends on what it is. Yes, I do prep it the day before. If not, could you tell me how you did it? I just did. For a beginner like me who's struggling with time management in general, once more, it's a habit thing. Form a habit and your business will thank you for it. And who's not on the delivery platforms, maybe you should consider it, because if you think about it, Just Eat at the moment, at the time of this recording, takes about 13-14% as commission. You do know that you can include that in your profits, in terms of, if normally you sell a meal at £6 directly, you could consider to say, you know what, 13% more on top of £6 would mean, I don't know, I told you guys before, please don't come for me, I don't know maths, right? So 13% would probably be £6.50. So or £6 or £7.50. I don't know. I'm just saying, right? I'm saying, just leave me alone. So yeah, so it's what, £7.50. So you could say, you know what, your item goes from £6 to £7.50, and that's because now you're on a delivery platform, so you have to increase your cost, or the cost of your menu item, because now you've accounted for delivery prices being on the delivery platform. And I'm sure your customers will not be cross because you've added £1.50 to accommodate the extra commission. So that means you still get to keep your initial profits, and being on a delivery platform would not be a bad thing. And think of it as free promotion. The number of new customers I've had who have found me by reason of me being on a delivery platform, versus, just imagine the amount of marketing you would have to do every single month versus how much these guys are spending to get new customers on board. No match, so like I said, by all means, I've got many people who have helped to start a restaurant, and they have done well to have only direct orders, and delivery platforms, they actually switch off their machines because they don't want to take any more platform orders from delivery platforms. They only want direct orders because they get into many direct orders, so they switch off the machine for the day. I had a lady who in December 2020, just last year, she told me she's going to switch off her machine by the 20th of December because she has too many orders all the way to the 1st of January. So yeah, people actually do well. But the point is, the fact that she was doing well direct orders wise did not mean she should switch off. She did not mean she should not be on a delivery platform. She's still on a delivery platform. And what happens is, when her customers notice that, oh my God, I wanted to order some food for Christmas, but I noticed that you're not online, they call her directly, and then oh no, what happened? I've been trying to place, like yesterday I was trying to place an order with my favorite Jamaican restaurant. Yes, I offer Caribbean food, but I still eat out. I get tired of my food a lot. So I wanted to eat, and then I realized they're not open on Mondays, So I wouldn't have known that because I just wanted to go on the platform and order again from a delivery platform. But if you think about it, it's a chore ordering directly. I'm one of those customers. It's a chore ordering directly, and I just feel more comfortable ordering from a delivery platform. So you might be losing out on a lot of repeat customers or a lot of new customers that could notice you because you're on a delivery platform. Versus, I don't know of anyone who's joined the delivery platform and they wish they didn't. Like I said, depends on what platform you're joining, but if it's going to be meaning you're splitting your commission, include that commission in the price. Of course, the delivery platforms will tell you you're not allowed to have a different price in store versus your delivery platform price. For example, if you're selling your bolognese for £7, you cannot sell it on the delivery platform for £9. The price you serve your food in store or in your restaurant, it should be the same price you serve it on the platform. That's the agreement. That's the contract you sign with them. So by all means, you can't have a different price because people are doing a direct order. But like I said, nobody says you can't offer the discounts for direct orders. So there you go. Like, don't be so adverse to running your business and having it on delivery platforms. So how did you get your food ready? Did you prep it the day before? If not, if for a beginner like me who's struggling with time management in general and who's not on a delivery platform, so perhaps I could say, actually, I that's another point. Maybe I'm not thinking right this morning, but for somebody who's not on the delivery platform, maybe the delivery platforms have just refused to have you on. It's also possible. Actually, I didn't think of that. Because you're running the food business from home, they might say, you know what, they don't want to have you on the platform. They want you to be an actual restaurant on a high street, or they want you to be a rented kitchen, a rented commercial space. That's actually another point that I didn't think of. So if you're not on a delivery platform, do you think it'd be a good idea to start taking orders from people 48 hours in advance? No, people are not that organized. People are not that organized. You could send out messages and try to train your customers, but I'm not that. 48 hours in advance, I don't know if I want oxtail or not. I would contact you today and tell you I want oxtail, and if you haven't got the accommodation for it, I'll think you're not a serious business person. It's just me, obviously if I know I need to book it in advance, the most I can think about is that day, and then I call you first thing in the morning to book it because I want to pick it up later at night for dinner. But 48 hours is I don't know, have I ever, when it's not Argos, the only thing I order 48 hours in advance, and they tell me, and even that, even if I ordered an item in August and they tell me I have to wait 2 days for it to arrive, it just puts me off and I go somewhere else. If you can imagine, Amazon started offering same-day delivery because of the same issue, because people are just not willing to wait. People want to see an item, and that's why Argos kept on winning over Amazon, because you order an item from Amazon and it tells you be here in a week, versus Argos where you can click and collect the same day in 2 hours, right? So Amazon started offering same-day delivery and all that stuff. So so by all means, you can start taking orders from people 48 hours in advance. But like I said, try it, see how it works. And if people don't like it, you'd know, because your order rates will drop. And then that's why you should save your customer details. Save your customer details so you're in a place where you can always email and let your customers know that we are now accepting same day orders. We don't need 48-hour notice anymore. Just be willing to just move things around, and then slowly work my way into doing normal instant deliveries. Yes, by all means, work your way through it. Learn, unlearn, relearn. That's the beauty of doing business, right? And then obviously I responded. I said I was gonna upload the video on YouTube for her. That's amazing. Thank you so much. It's very generous of you. I just followed you on YouTube channel. Guys, come on now. She's telling you she followed me, man. Why have you not followed me, man? Do you need me to beg? I'll keep my eyes peeled for new videos. I'll be cooking vegan comfort food. I love that. That's amazing. And this is what I meant by you have to be very careful on what you're offering. Because what you select as a menu option, cuisine-wise, it affects your sales. The example I was going to give the other day is I've been on Deliveroo now for what? I don't know. I've been on Deliveroo now for almost 2 years or whatever. I've only got like 6 reviews. I've only got like 6 reviews on there. Versus somebody next door to us in Yettis Kitchen here. He just joined Deliveroo three months ago, and that's because Corona forced his business to go online. But he was, when I started on Deliveroo 2 years ago, he actually had a conversation with me to say, why are you using delivery platform? Why don't you use your own delivery drivers and blah 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 blah. And I said to him, no, I want to do deliveries. And that's what, apart from God helping my business at the moment, I think that's been my saving grace in terms of, Yettis Kitchen has been very delivery focused from day one. So it meant that even though the restaurant's been forced to close because of Corona, we're still surviving because we have been on delivery platforms forever. Versus every restaurant right now trying to get on delivery platforms, and the delivery platforms are actually in a place where they have you where they want you, and they can tell you, no, we don't want you on our platform. So so right now I only have about 6 reviews on Deliveroo and stuff, because people just they hoard reviews like it's money. And bruh, he's only joined 3 months ago, and you wouldn't believe it. I was speaking with a friend of mine yesterday. You wouldn't believe it. He's got 450 reviews already, all 6 stars, and I'm jealous. Yes, I'm jealous. All 6 stars, and guess what he sells? He sells chicken and chips. So that's what I mean by what you choose to sell is the difference between profit and loss, is the difference between headache and a good sleep. And that's why I think I made a video the other day that actually said if I was to do this again, I definitely would not be trying to save the planet with my healthy food stance. Yes, of course, conscience comes in, and what are you here on earth for? I totally love all the ethical stuff that we all try to push. But I've not been able to pay a lot of my bills in the beginning of my business because I was on that train. Versus if I started out with junk food, boy, I'll be a multimillionaire right now, So yeah, he's got 450 reviews, and that's because, and then he's always got a 5-star rating from the food standards agency, and that's because he literally has no prep to do, because he has no storage to do. Everything's straight from the freezer into the fryer, right? So all he has to do is just stock management, which can be automated, which is every Friday chips arrive. This is the same amount of chips, and then obviously the more orders they get, he can increase the number of stock that he orders, and that can be done from a phone, versus me waking up in the morning to season chicken, to make eforiro, to make egusi, to make pepper soup. Bruh, you gonna grow old so quickly. Versus the person selling chicken and chips and driving Range Rover and is looking fresh, whilst you've only been in business 2 years, you're looking like a grandma, and he's looking like he's ready to open the 5th branch. So be careful what you choose to sell. All right. So I'm not saying that because I don't think vegan comfort food is a good thing. I'm brilliant. I used to be vegan until I gave in and started eating meat again. I was vegan for about 3 months. So I'm definitely going to be releasing a book as well, The African Vegan. Don't steal the name of the book. But there's a lot of African food that's actually delicious, vegan food. And the only reason why I survived that long in 3 months eating vegan food was because I was eating my same old food that my palate is used to, but it was because I don't do food that's not tasty. If it's not tasty, I'm gonna fall off the bandwagon of whatever diet I'm on. So vegan food for me had to be tasty, and I found that African food gave me the tasty aspect, and I lost weight, and it tasted good. So yeah, I love the fact that it's vegan comfort food you're offering. I'll be recreating classic European traditional dishes. Ragu a la I'm laughing not because of what you've written, don't mind me. My son, till now, he's gonna be 10 this year. He doesn't know how to pronounce bolognese. He doesn't know how to pronounce. I'm even struggling to pronounce it because we have a private joke in our house. He pronounces it as bolognese. He can't make the G silent. He can't make, so bolognese, no, he'll say bolognese. And he's 10, and I've corrected him all his life, and he still calls it bolognese. So that's why I'm laughing, not because of what you've written. So I make a vegan version of them. Brilliant. So I believe you can freeze that. I believe you can put that in the fridge, so you can make that fresh. You can make the sauce for the bolognese. You can make the sauce for the bolognese, and 30 minutes to your opening time, you heat it up, and depending on what the customer wants, you get it ready, right? I'm making substitutes from scratch, makes sense, and I want to use organic ingredients as much as possible, makes sense, especially for the vegetables. I'm hoping your business is sustainable, especially with the organic aspect. It's one thing to buy ingredients, it's another thing to buy organic ingredients, because it's one thing to buy from one supplier who could be out of business in 6 months, and then you have to go find another supplier, and when your supplier changes, your customers might notice, and then they might stop ordering from you. So you should be in a place where you have more than one supplier for your organic ingredients. And of course, prices change. Organic ingredients are thought of as more expensive, so I'm sure you thought about all these things. So I'm sure you thought about all these things, so there's no point in me advising you on how to go about it. But yeah, by all means, they all sound good, but you might want to swap for food that would take well to be stored or preserved in the fridge or whatever else, freezer. Example of ingredients I'll be using are separate types of flours, oils, margarine, pasta, nuts, plant-based milk, soya milk. I don't take cow's milk, I take soya milk. So when I went off being vegan, I still kept my soya milk, spices, dried and fresh herbs. Okay, so everything you mentioned so far sounds good. Everything preserved. When we get into fresh herbs, that's where preservation comes in. And there's several types of vegetables. So yeah, I'm hoping I answered your question. I'm not sure how much recording. That's all the questions under a year-old baby. I have a 12-year-old. I have a 9-year-old. I homeschool all my children. What else do I want to say to you? I run the restaurant. I still do my deliveries sometimes, as well as my delivery drivers help me out sometimes. I still do my cooking every day, 7 days a week. Yettis Kitchen is open 7 days a week, so there are no days off for me. I have other businesses that I run. It's not just Yettis Kitchen that I run. So what else do I want to say to you, man? I've got my husband as well that I need to create time for myself and him, marriage-wise. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a lot, and that's life. But what I'm just trying to say is, and then last year in the middle of the pandemic, I took up a care job because I was struggling with finances in the middle of restaurants closing, and my husband lost his job and all that. So I was doing care work as well as homeschooling, as well as running the restaurant. Restaurant opens at 1 p.m. It closes at 10, right? It closes at 10. So it's not like when I started the care work, I only had the restaurant running from 6 till 10. No, I was open from 1 till 10 every single day, Monday to Sunday. And I was doing care work 7 days a week as well. My care work was from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. So obviously at 8 p.m. when I left, my staff carried on with running the kitchen for me. They did the deliveries, and by then, obviously by 8 p.m. when I was starting work as a carer, I already had the food prepped and stuff. So all they were just doing is reheating and serving as needed. So what I'm just trying to say to you is, if I'm here telling you time management is a habit, it's not because I have no idea how busy life can get. I'm just saying, if you're hungry enough, you'd make it happen. Peace and love, guys. You know where to find me. Yettis Kitchen is the same everywhere. I've chosen that name as a good name, man. Brand consistency, man. Yettis Kitchen is on Twitch. Hey, you can play games with us. Come on, add us. Come on. Yettis Kitchen is on Twitch. Yettis Kitchen is on LinkedIn. Yettis Kitchen is on Instagram. Yettis Kitchen is on YouTube. Yettis Kitchen is on Facebook. Yettis Kitchen is on Twitter. Yettis Kitchen is on Spotify. Yettis Kitchen is on Clubhouse. Come on, add us. Come on. Oh man, oh my god, I'm loving Clubhouse at the moment, man. If you haven't added us on Clubhouse, what club are you attending? Come on. But yeah, Yettis Kitchen is on Clubhouse. Yettis Kitchen is on TikTok. If you want me to carry on, Yettis Kitchen is on Airbnb. Bruh, man, I could tell you about a brand awareness and brand visibility, man. We're everywhere. So what I'm just saying to you is, follow. Any new platform you're on, just do me a favor and just search Yettis Kitchen. That's what I'm asking. Follow, like, subscribe, share this content. Love you guys. Take care.